Now, let us digress a little. It's not every time that we should dwell on the usual traditional practices about ordinary nomenal Igbo. We have always talked about things related to rituals, Echwaja, and all that. We've always talked about Awu, Imekwashi, appeasement of this and that spirits. We have always talked about using Oji to pray, Nzu, and all that. But then, I do like to sometimes chip in certain fundamentals that must not be neglected when you are talking about spirituality and the human well-being. You see, there is strong connection between the calmness you sustain in your mind and the feelings and the totality of the well-being of your life. I mean, the calmness you are able to sustain within your thoughts and your emotion. There is strong connection between this calmness and the totality of your well-being. Again, there is strong connection between the image of yourself that you hold and sustain in your thought and nurtured by your emotion, and the totality of the well-being of your life. Now, this is not about how many times in your chicken you go out na yellow law. Dokwagondo to Gabona, Chubela Jandot, you may go this and that. I'm not saying that all these ones are not necessary, they are. But I'm telling you the fundamentals, the principles that when you neglect, every other thing you do can never be of much benefit to you. Now listen. It is very, very important for you to understand that the external world that you see is actually a manifestation of the internal world. There is nothing in the outside that did not form from within. When you allow your thoughts to race after things, experiences, images that are not healthy, just know it that those images that you allow your thoughts to go after, to race after, they are the things that get reproduced in your life experiences. I am here to inform you that changing your situation is not only by it also has to do with your mind and your emotion. If you can train yourself to sustain healthy thoughts and emotional feelings, and you cultivate it and make it a habit, you will discover that a lot of things that you consider wrong in your life will be fixed naturally. Learn to create your world from within. Most times, we human beings, we are the architect of our doom, of our bad experiences. It is not as if that there is any spirit or whatever doing us. It is because we cultivate more of negativities in our thought and emotions. I want you to understand that you can heal yourself of your body sickness, you can heal your finances, you can heal your relationship, you can heal a lot of things, you can right a lot of wrongs in your life by the quality of your thoughts and your feelings. What do you focus more on? What do you focus more on? It is very wonderful when you combine Echwaja, performing rituals, and these inner exercises. It is about keeping positive mindset. Understand that spirituality is not much about ihe ekwurekwu maọbụ ife emere eme in the physical. Ihe ekwurekwu does not hold much power. Ihe emere eme in the physical does not hold much power as much as ihe echere eche n'obi. Your thought and your feelings. That is where your external world is created. It's not much about a kwugido from now till tomorrow. I will among that. It is about, the image you form and then sustain and nurture with emotion. Onyawa bụ the major key. Ọ bụrụ na ihe dị ka na okwu ọnụ a na-ekwu ekwu na ọ dị so powerful, then nyawa na onye kwuo ome. But I can tell you that your situation today is as a result of the thoughts and the emotion you have sustained for long. Yes. Just check your life. If you want to change any situation in your life, begin by changing your thoughts. Begin by changing your feelings. One thing about thought and feelings is that it is not something that other people can have control over. It is something that is dependent on you. If you are a spiritual person and you have not trained yourself to that point that people don't have influence over your thoughts and how you feel, then you have not started. You have to train yourself that to the point that you are in charge of your thoughts and how you feel. You don't have to react to what people do or say. You don't have to allow your thoughts, your emotion. Yes, I understand that, when people do certain things, it will affect you. It will drift your thoughts away for a moment, but then always call yourself back. Yes, the way people behave towards you will make you feel angry. Yes, for a moment, but then try to drive yourself back to point. Don't be a reactive being. Be an active being. What matters in spirituality is not about talking. It is about being. Being. That is inhable. What manifests in your life is not what you say. It's not what you want. It's not what you desire. It is what you are that manifests in your life. If you want to manifest anything in your life, first of all, become that being. I call it the spirituality of being. The spirituality of being. Inhable. Inhable. The spirituality of being. And this being I'm talking about is not just in the physical, because you are what you are doing is you are creating the physical being from the internal being. So when I talk about the spirituality of being, I mean what you are being in your thought and in your feelings. If your thoughts are chaotic, that is, your thoughts are restless, not calm. Your thoughts are flying here and there, dwelling on negativities. That is your state of being. And trust me, you are going to recreate in your physical life experiences, more of experiences that are chaotic. What are you being in your feelings, in your emotion? What you are in your feelings, in your emotion, is actually what you attract more of. I encourage you, as onye ọdịnala Igbo, try as much as possible to always be calm. Be calm. See, in my studies about spirituality, I've come to understand that there is strong connection between calmness and the prosperity. Strong connection between calmness and the prosperity. Mgbe ghọta ihe ahụ Igbo kwuru, n'Igbo kwuru sị na ebe udo dị ka ọganiru na-adị. Ebe udo dị ka ọganiru na-adị. There is strong connection between calmness and the prosperity. If you are able to sustain the being of calm, you being calm within you, in your thought and in your feelings, then I am assuring you that you can easily attract prosperity to yourself. You understand? But if you are such a person that you find it difficult to maintain calmness within you, you are always bubbling, you are always worried, you are always being troubled, your thoughts are, racing after things that are going wrong, things that have gone wrong, things that might go wrong. Sometimes, we human beings, we get disturbed by the things that we are projecting that might, not even that it have happened, but things that might happen. And because of that, your internal being is in chaos. And trust me, that chaos that you are, that's your internal being, is what you manifest more on the outside. Today, if you can put it into practice, just give yourself the assignment. If you can give yourself like 3 months, yes. Spirituality is not something that you just do once and email once like this. You expect results. You cultivate virtue over time. If you can just give yourself like 3 months, it is very difficult. Very, very difficult, because that is the original Aja. I've got more on that, Nana. The simplest Aja physical materials Aja is the simplest Aja. Physical materials Aja. You can easily get them. You can easily get Oji, get Uzu, get Edo, get Okoko, get this, get that. And then it's very simple. But the most difficult Aja Aja thought and the feelings will actually, because it requires a lot of discipline. Ọ ebe a ka a na-anọ ya ma ndị kala ndị kwụ akwụ ọfụma na mmụọ. Onye na-achụ aja physical with all these things you can easily get, you can be doing it and be distracted and you are just doing what you are doing, but nke anaghị agba gị na it require a lot of composure, discipline, self-consciousness. Onye awa aja kacha aja. If you can give yourself like 3 months and tell yourself that you are going to train yourself to be more self-relaxed, relaxation, calmness within you, in your thoughts, in your feelings, you are going to consciously induce calmness in your internal being, no matter how chaotic the physical world is. Let me tell you, if your physical experiences presently is in chaos and you are able to cultivate internal calmness and peace, I am telling you that that chaos that you see in the external, it will not be long. It will transform to total peace and prosperity. Prosperity in whatever you do. Is it in your business? Is it in your relationship? Is it in whatever? Even in your health. You can heal yourself actually by introducing calmness in your internal being. If anyone is not about church or it's not about talking too much. It is about your state of being. In what state of being are you? Are you in that state of being that is calm, total serenity, no matter what is happening on the outside? Earthquake, you are in that state of calmness in your internal being. If you are able to achieve this feat, you are formidable. There is no, in fact, you will become a terror to anything evil. If I'm also on a balance, Ezinwa Anaedo, what will I do to overcome Amos? If all these things that fleeting things that people get disturbed over, they will now be the one avoiding you, because I'm also thrive in a state of chaos. Before I'm also get into you, okay, boozer, disorganize again. Okay, boozer, tinye in a state of restlessness, being furious. You be in a state of being furious. You be in a state of anger. You be in a state of restlessness. Your thoughts are bubbling, restless. Your emotion darkened. It is when you are in that state but I'm also be able to take it for that now. Your internal being is calm and peace everywhere. Maka gịnị? Ife na ọchịchịrị ada ejekọ. Ọnụ ntụtụ na-aba ada akụkọta isi ọnụ. Anya na ntị ada afụ onwe ha. Ịghọta ihe na-ekwu? Ọwụ ọdụ ka ọdụ gbasa ọdụ ka ọdụ egolu. Amoosu or all these bad whatever, they thrive where there is restlessness. And if you give them chance, they will come in. So I am charging you today, henceforth, cultivate the habit of being calm in your internal being. And remember, spirituality is not about too much talking. Spirituality is not about too much thinking. Spirituality is not about too much external activities. Spirituality is not about gathering ngwongwo achọmechu aja mmiri bute mgbamgbagba afia ha kụwa niile anụ akpakọjue ngwongwo niile. Spirituality is not about that. It is about what state are you, the state of your being. The state of your being. That is what matters. There is nothing you can achieve with external demonstrations and whatever if your internal being is in chaos. Just understand it from this meditation. I thank you. Be part of our every Nkwasaraka. Today is in Nkwasaraka. We have just concluded with today's own. Another Saraka will come up in the next 4 days. Another Nkwade. Every Nkwade, every 4 days, we do Nkwasaraka here in this our chamber. No Biaya. Today's own was wonderful. If you want to be part of our Nkwasaraka, you chat me on WhatsApp 08032477868. My name is Ezinwa Anaedo. I come for the total restoration of ordinary nominal Igbo. Kemesiano.